So, Rinat, you have made two new spectacular recordings of the Vanhal and the Dittersdorf concerto. But this time, you have recorded them in the Viennese tuning. Could you firstly tell us what that is and how it differs from the usual orchestral tuning?
Well, Viennese tuning was used mainly in Vienna and generally in Austria and Germany at time from 70-60 till 80-20s, and not only for solo concerti, which we know by Dittersdorf, Vanhal, Hofmeister, Pichel, and others. For example, it assumed that Mozart symphonies, Haydn symphonies, and even Schubert throat quintet was played by Viennese tuning bass.
And okay, so what is the Viennese tuning? What is it?
Viennese bass was a bass with tuning which originally came from Baroque time, from Vialone and viola da gamba, which was using the third in the middle and fourth on the top and bass note. So Viennese tuning would be in the way which I was using it, saying from the top A, F sharp, D, A. And most standard Viennese tuning would be 5-string bass, with F on the bottom.
F natural.
F natural, but that could be changed depending on the key of the piece down to D even, or up to F sharp. And also at that time there were 4-string basses and even 3-string basses used tuning on that manner, but most common was 5-string bass.
So it seems that at that time there was no real standard that everybody used of tuning the instrument, but there were a set of different variables that you could use.
Yeah, that actually was a beauty of it, a variety of instruments and styles, and even in one orchestra people could use different instruments with different tuning.
Having learnt these pieces, which obviously you know extremely well in the regular tuning, how long did it take you to get to the point where you felt comfortable in this new format?
Well, it took a few weeks just to learn where to put your fingers. Then another few weeks just to feel at home. But I started enjoying it from the very first day, because it's a completely different instrument, and you could feel that these pieces were written for this instrument, and it reacts differently.
I was going to ask, because you say it's a different instrument, does it actually resonate differently? Do you feel it as physically different as an instrument?
Yes, of course, because it made it tuned on D major arpeggio, and you play it in D major, and all the strings are vibrating, and also you can use chords which are originally in the score and missing after new additions, because it's impossible to use in a normal tuning. And it's completely different piece, and you play piece which is written for this instrument.
So the fact that all the fingering patterns are different, does that make you change musically how you approach it? Has it changed the shape musically for you as well?
It is easy to make shape, it's easy to phrase, and sound is different. Sound is more refined, I would say, on this instrument, and you can also, there are more possibilities of fingerings. You can play and do more changing by one string if you prefer the sound. You can do more crossing and play almost everything in one position, which I assume people did at that time.
Apparently, I mean, we're used to playing these pieces in D major, but that wasn't how they were originally written.
They Yeah, at that time they also had kind of solo tuning and orchestral tuning, and all major concertos were written in solo tuning, like Dittersdorf, Vanhal, Hofmeister. They were written in S major, E flat major, and all orchestral part is written in E flat major, which makes it easier for woodwind and horn players. So which you were supposed to tune half tone up and still read music in D major. This is how it worked. But I think for practical reasons, today they're all published in D or E major, depending what tuning you use, orchestral or solo.
Presumably the technical difficulties of these concerti are much easier in this tuning, the Viennese tuning.
Yeah, as I said, because it's written for this instrument.
Right. When the Dittersdorf was arranged for four-string in fourths, a lot of the passages changed, didn't they?
Yeah, and short edition even cut off the big amount of this concerto in the first moment because it's almost impossible to play, and only, I don't know, people like Bozo Paradzik or very few others could do this.
So reintroducing the Viennese tuning allows you to go back to the original.
Of course, yeah, easily.
Open the old, the original music up to you.
Yes.
And so how does the Vanhal change? Is the Vanhal very different between the original written score to what we play now?
It's more comfortable to play than Dittersdorf to play in modern bass, but of course you had to do some registral changing to be able to do.
So different octaves?
Yes.
A lot of it was written in higher octaves?
Yeah.
Or expected to be played in higher octaves?
And also using high harmonics, which is impossible to
do on the fourths.
On the fourths. Yeah.
Right.
It's very interesting paragraph in Igor Pisevsky's, you're probably aware of his website, which is fantastic. You can find everything about Viennese tuning there. And one paragraph in there I found really funny, where he saying that for every bass player during his time at the college, it would be a mandatory part to learn Dittersdorf and Vanhal, to play it for the audition in the orchestra, and the lucky ones, they would get this job and few years later would teach how to play these two concertos to their students. I would encourage all bass players and students particularly to try Viennese tuning. Here in London, in Guildhall, we have bass tuned in Viennese tuning, and all my students have to play at least one piece during their time in college in Viennese tuning, and I think it's important, very important to go through it and to understand the logic, how it works, and to play pieces which were originally written for that instrument.
And when we come to playing these pieces, we always have the issue of piano accompaniment parts not written in the right key. When are we going to get to the point where everything is organized in the right way?
That we need to find a publisher who is interested, who goes away from standardization and practical reasons, and could introduce historically accurate publication.
So, are you tempted at all to do orchestral repertoire with Viennese tuning?
Maybe one day classical repertoire would be good.
Be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, why not? If Joel Quarrington plays in fifths, maybe sitting next to him playing in Viennese tuning would give you more variety and make it interesting.
Well, it is interesting, isn't it? Because we have fallen into this routine of playing in a set way in fourths, and we force ourselves to learn everything that way and work out the techniques to get around that system. Why not open everything up? I mean, everything's possible, isn't it?
That's what I really wish, to have variety and to have a choice.
What can we look forward to you recording next?
Maybe somebody in on 3 strings, original tunings. I haven't decided yet. We'll see.
Very good.